What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. And today I have a very, very special guest joining me for another Spotlight interview. This is Oregon safety Kobe Savage. Now, he was at K-State for a couple years, but he has transferred to Oregon. So I'm going to introduce you as the Oregon safety now. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. I can't complain. I appreciate you coming on. You're one of the bigger gets that I've gotten so far, so I really appreciate you taking the time out. Had a little bit of a scheduling conflict because I'm on the East Coast, he's on the West Coast, so we had a little bit of confusion there. I'll take the blame for that one myself. But, I'm sure at this point in the season or in the preseason, you're a busy guy right now, I'm pretty sure. So, first question I would have for you is, how's your preseason preparation going, and what does a day in the life of Kobe Savage look like right now?
Yeah, preseason right now. We just started back in Oregon doing our summer workouts, so it's a lot of like early morning runs and lifts. It's just really just getting my body prepared for what it's about to endure. Because I've seen a lot of things about how long this season's going to be. So really just like overemphasizing rehydration, recovery, all those little things. So really just um, tearing down those muscles and body parts in the morning and just trying to recover them throughout the day.
What is that morning run? What time does that start?
Here, I don't know if I'm mistaken or not, but here it's around like I want to say 6:30. So we're pretty early in the mornings at like 6:30 with the run, and then we'll have like lift groups. So I'll say probably about a hour later we'll lift, but we'll be done pretty early in the morning, so it's not too bad.
Is that the workout for the day as of right now, or do you guys do like practice and stuff too?
Yeah, it's just the workout for the day. I mean, we'll start
All
doing
right.
like player led 7-on-7 here and there each week, but so far that's it.
I guess that's a decent start to the day, right? Like it's probably not a crazy run, but it was a couple miles maybe.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Just a lot of change direction. Nothing to wear us out too bad right now.
All right, all right. That's not too bad because I always try and picture the way that like me in the current state that I'm in. If I had to get up at that time and like run a few miles and then do
Yeah.
lift, and I was like, I don't know. I get up early for work, but I don't know if I could barely get myself out of bed to do that every day. I don't know if I could add like a run and a lift to that either, but
Yeah.
that's awesome. But so you spent the last 2 years of your collegiate career at Kansas State and you did transfer after the season. So what was the main reason you entered the transfer portal going into the year six for you right now,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, sir. I feel like the main reason is just I came to the consensus of that. I just wanted to be in a different league. I feel like I had a good time in the Big 12 and a great time at K State. I just wanted to try something new. I felt like just expand my doors for opportunities, and like Oregon was a great place. Like outside of football, the connections they have with people at Nike, all the other guys that they had come through here, like Marcus Mariota, DeForest Buckner, Javon Holland, like meeting all those guys and talking to them and picking their brains. Just I feel like the Oregon brand is very vast, so I feel like it's giving me a lot of networking connections outside of the life of football.
Yeah, and joining a very talented secondary group too, Jabbar Muhammad there as well. Did you get to talk to anyone that got drafted before that? Maybe like Jackson Powers Johnson, Bucky Irvin, Troy Franklin, any of those guys?
Yeah, I actually exchanged numbers with Evan, the safety that was here this past season, and I was just picking his brain, just how he
Evan
felt about
Williams
the
is a beast,
season.
yes.
Yeah, he's really good, and just picking his brain and seeing some stuff about his game that I could probably emulate here in the system. Just seeing different ways that they want to use me and how what all it took to go into the draft.
So let me ask you this. You mentioned Nike, and obviously I think, in my opinion, that Oregon has like the best uniform package in the game. I mean,
Hmm.
like there's and just endless amounts of combinations. So how many I know that there's a lot of like stan accounts for colleges and college football teams and all that kind of stuff. Oregon has a big one as well. So I'm sure that you've gotten a ton of edits in your DMs of you like in like Oregon Ducks uniforms and stuff. So like what is your favorite early? Like what is the favorite uniform combination that you've seen that you think you'll like be in this year? Is it like the classic like the green on top with the black pants or
Um, I don't know for sure about this season, but I know last year they had it was all yellow, like a highlight yellow jersey with the black numbers and the black pants. and
That's
then
right.
the yellow cleats, that was tough with the black helmet. That was really tough. So if I had to pick a jersey combo, I would do that.
Dude, look good, play good. You're already
Yeah,
starting at like max aura, like right away before as soon as you
yeah.
exit the tunnel. Love that. So obviously you're early on in your tenure at Oregon, haven't played a game yet, obviously, but can you tell us if there's any differences you notice, maybe in like training style, facilities wise, anything that you notice that's different from K State? Because K State is a huge program in itself too, but
Hmm.
Oregon, like you said, might just be in a different league at this point.
Yeah, like K State, like we were like grunts, like working hard every day. Obviously, credit to them, Coach True staff, all those guys. We were working like continuously. I'd say just the biggest difference is just like it's a lot of competition. Everything we do is a competition. Whether it's weightlifting, we'll like Coach Love reiterates, like we'll look at each other in the eyes and like do curls until one stops.
That's
We
crazy.
we do a lot of wrestling, a lot of tug of war. So it's very competitive. Every run, lift, all that. And then like you said, facilities wise, I mean it's Oregon. Like it really speaks for itself. Just the staff, the people around here, like they've all invested into us a lot, and so we got some of the top notch facilities in the country. So I mean, and it is blessing beyond measures. But yeah, like that's those are the key differences that I would say coming to Oregon.
Yeah, because I've seen, I mean, some of the top notch facilities you've seen around, like Texas, Texas A&M, like all
Yep.
those teams. You're just like, geez, like I know that there was a big joke going like when Xavier Worthy got drafted by Kansas City. You see like the Kansas City locker room, and then what Texas
Yeah.
had, and you're like, wow, like what a step down that is. And it's funny because you're going from a collegiate program to an NFL team, so that's
Yep.
awesome. That's awesome to hear that. Even with a big program like K State that has such a rich history of,
Yep.
just a decorated history, and then you go to Oregon and it's still like another
Yeah.
level above.
It's
That's
crazy.
that's really awesome. That's really awesome to hear. So after you suffered a torn ACL, so misinformation on the internet, of course. I said I said dislocated elbow, so I was way off. So
Yeah.
after you suffered a torn ACL towards the end of the 2022 season, you put in arguably your best collegiate season in 2023. So did that time away from the field allow you to take a step back and maybe work out those kinks that were still in your game?
Yeah, I felt like going into the 2022 season, I was really just looking to prove myself that I could play at the Power Five level. And then, like you said, tearing my ACL, I got to take a step back from the game, really just watch it for what it was and appreciate football and just dive into the details like offensive schemes and what they were looking at and the tendencies and stuff. So I felt like that's what I got to do a lot, and then just rehab my body, understand my body more. So yeah, taking that step back, going into the 2023 season allowed me to really just see all the flaws in my game. And I still got a lot that I need to work on, and I feel like I'm going to attack that a lot in this off season, and then coming into this 2024 season.
I'm sure like it like you said, it gives you like an appreciation, kind of like a hunger almost like because you're
Yeah,
watching your teammates out there and you're like, damn, I really wish I was out there. I'm sure film study was probably a big part of that too. You're probably watching a lot more film at that time too, because really what can you do with a torn ACL?
yeah,
So that's that's a pretty big aspect of it, man. I can only imagine. Like I miss a game because I can't go because of work for something, and I'm
yeah,
like, damn, I wish I was out there. I couldn't imagine having like a pretty devastating and significant injury like that hindering my ability to play. But
yeah,
so what is an area of your game we just mentioned that, there's still areas of your game you would like to work on.
yeah.
So what is an area of your game that you have been working on the most in preparation for the 2024 season?
I'd say it's two things that I really want to like perfect, and that's just open field tackling. I really want to display that, whether that's coming out of the post or there's a big gap between me and the runner. And then just man techniques, working all different variations, whether it's scooch, it's catch. I'm working in the slot. I'm pressed. I'm playing off. Just all, those two are my main focal points this off season.
Hey man, just going into the analytics, you only gave up a 62.5 passer rating against last year. So pretty strong in that aspect in man-to-man coverage. So
So
but that's a testament to you probably as a player and a man as well that you even though that's a great number you still want to get better and better. So leading into my next question would be what would you say is the best overall aspect of your game so far in your collegiate career?
um, I really just say um, probably my aggressiveness, and then my persistentness. Like I don't I pride myself on not getting tired out there. Like I've always wanted to stay in the game. I hate when a coach takes me out of the game for anything. So I just say that, and I say my awareness. I feel like I'm pretty aware of my teammates and where they're going to be at, making sure I'm getting everybody lined up. But coming here, I feel like there's a lot of players on the team that understand their position. They're great communicators. They allow me to do my job at a high level. So I feel like just my aggressive, like I said, and persistentness, just to be out there and always want to be around the ball.
What are 3 words that would describe you best as a football player? So you mentioned
Um,
aggressiveness.
Yep, for
Aggressive.
sure. Aggressive. Um, I'd say toughness. Regardless of how I'm feeling out there, I'm gonna give it my all. That very play. And the third one, I'd say um resilient. Like whatever the score is, no matter what's gonna happen, I'm not gonna let that affect the next play. Because at the end of the day, a play is a play in itself. So I got to give 6 seconds of my best effort throughout each play. So I'd say those three are my, or how you would describe me.
Getting to know you maybe a little bit more on the personal level at this point. How did you get into football?
Uh, so my grandmother on my mom's side, so my mom's mom actually was like forcing my mom and family to sign me up for flag football because my mom and dad really love basketball. So they weren't like too into football, but my mom's mom actually got me signed up for flag when I was 4 years old through a church league. And like I just ever since then I fell in love with it. I was really good at it at a young age. And I played strictly offense my whole life. Like I played wide receiver, quarterback, and then my senior year of high school, my cousin played defensive back, and I wanted to play alongside of him. And then actually before that, that summer, I went to camp as a DB because I was tired of the quarterback lines, and I got a offer to a Division II school, Southeastern Oklahoma State. And then yeah, that whole season I played a little bit of DB here and there, and just had Division II offers. And then I went to Commerce, Texas A&M Commerce when they were a D2. Uh, didn't like that because I had to pay scholarship. Left there and walked on a JUCO as a DB. So these are my first year like playing DB for real, and I had All American season and got Kansas State. So that's really my football background leading up to Oregon.
Unbelievable stuff, man. That's so funny. And I mean, you have an advantage over quite possibly almost everyone because you have a name that you could any position on the football field. You're like made. You have an athlete's name. Like I couldn't see you selling used cars. You know what I mean? It can't be like, "How you doing, Kobe Savage?" Like I'm here to sell you a Chevy.
Yeah,
Like it's like you got like that is a baller name. So I feel like that's got to be because Darnell Savage, of course, is in the
yeah,
NFL. So Kobe Savage is like one of the best basketball players of all time. Kobe, and then Savage is your
yeah,
last name. You have to be a football player. It seems like a DB name. So it was in
yeah.
the cards all along, dude. God has a plan. Everything happens for a reason. So
Facts.
you 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 had to go into being a DB there. But
Yeah.
so let's see here. Who was your favorite player growing up? And is there any way you try and emulate your game now to that player or after that player?
Yeah. So growing up, I'd say my two, maybe three favorite player was Ladainian Tomlinson, Troy Polamalu, and Ed Reed. Those are my three favorite. And the person I try to emulate most now wasn't even like a favorite player back then, but it was Bob Sanders. Like I love the way
Land
he
Shark.
played.
Nice.
Yeah, I love the way Bob played, and he was just a tenacious player. Like you just always see him around the ball, running around. Obviously had a great career, but yeah, that's who I'd say if I had to pick somebody to emulate my game after would be Bob Sanders.
That's actually really funny because I interviewed Kenny Gallup Jr. from Howard University last week, and he also said that the player that he emulates his game after is Bob Sanders. So
Yeah.
pretty funny that, 2 for 2 with the safeties there on that one. But did you have a favorite football team growing up?
Yes, I've been a Cowboys fan. I'm still a Cowboys
Oh,
fan.
man.
I like the Raiders for a little bit, but yeah, I'm born and raised in Texas, so I gotta root for them boys.
All right, I get it. All right,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna knock you for that one. I respect that. I mean, listen, I have no reason, no right to say anything. I'm a Jets fan, so you know,
yeah.
no right that way. But so, any hobbies or interests you have away from the football field?
Yes, I love fishing. Like if I whenever I go back home to Texas and East Texas, I'm fishing. You can ask all my cousins, friends, family. I love to bass fish, crappie, perch, bluegill, catfish. I've never been deep sea fishing, And fishing out here is kind of weird because it's like trout, steelhead,
Yeah.
salmon, and all that. But I really love to go back down south and go bass fishing a lot. That's probably my favorite thing to do outside of football.
What's the biggest bass you've ever caught? Do you remember that off the top of your head?
Most recently, I could tell you, I say last week actually, I caught. I think it might have been a 2 to 3 pounder. It was probably the biggest I caught out of that pond, but that's the most recent one I can think of. I don't think I've caught anything more than that. I need to go like fish with big bait so I can catch something big and tell y'all.
That's awesome. I wouldn't expect fishing being, especially being from Texas. I feel like every time I talk to someone from Texas, it's not really that. I don't really know what it would be, but a lot of people say eating barbecue is one of their is one of their big hobbies down there
Yeah,
too. I'm a
yeah,
big I mean, I've been to Texas a couple times. I went to Terry Black's, and that's forever will be my
yep,
favorite barbecue spot.
yeah.
But that place is awesome. Besides football, what would you say is the most important to you in life?
Mm, For sure, my faith. I'm a Christian, so I put all my faith in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So, besides family, definitely my faith.
Love that. Love that. I mean, it seems like such a simple question to ask because the majority of people would say family or faith, but you never know. There are some people that it's completely different. But I love
Yep,
that answer always because at the end of the day, all we have is faith and family. So that's the
exactly.
beautiful answer for sure. And
So,
what are three? We I asked you what three words would describe you as a football player. So I want to know what would be three words that describe you as a person, as a man.
I'd say I'm pretty humble. I don't like to brag or boast about how much money I get or anything like that. I'm pretty honest. I like to tell it how it is. That's what I pride myself on is being honest and always telling somebody for calling a spade a spade. And then I'll say I'm pretty trustworthy. Like I'll keep my word with what I'm talking about.
Love that. Awesome. Great. That's quality three right there. So I got two more questions for you. Last two I always end the interview with. So the first one would be what can we expect from Kobe Savage in the 2024 season now being at Oregon?
I feel like it'll be just if you cut back on my JUCO tape, that's what I feel like you'll see. Just somebody out there playing with their hair on fire. I'm just gonna cut it all loose. It's my last year of college football. I'm really excited to display just a different brand of football. Put everything I can on display out there, and just boost myself for the 2025 draft.
And then of course that last question is what would it mean to you to hear your name called during the 2025 NFL draft?
Man, it mean the world. Growing up as a kid, watching all those drafts, seeing some of your favorite players get drafted, it mean the world. I know it mean the world for everybody from where I come from. So I'm really excited just to see my name across that board.
Damn, I'm 27 and I watch every single draft and every time I see someone walk across that stage I'm like, "Oh, just one time. I wish just one time. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I don't even have to play. Is there like yo, they should open up an experience for guys like me where it's like you don't even have to have the crowd. Just have Roger Goodell take like maybe one day out of his week or something like
yeah,
that. Go down there, you pay like I don't know, $200, whatever it may be, and you walk across that stage and like get that picture and like shake his hand or something. I thought that'd be fun for the regular guys like me. But
yeah.
Kobe, man, that's all I got for you today. I really appreciate you coming on and talking with us here. Really, really hoping you have an awesome 2024. And I really hope you get that dream of walking across that stage, seeing your name across that stage, and playing in the NFL, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you for having me.